Hi there all of you, and welcome to south of Sweden and Sara's homestead and flower farm. I am Sara and this is a lovely sunny day in the end of August 2021. And I wanted to stop by today to send you lots and lots of love and many thank you for following my channel. The last couple of months I see that you watch my videos many times and that many new followers come to see what I do in the garden, and it's very nice, you know, it makes me happy that you want to follow my work. So today I wanted to tell you a bit about my garden, how it ended up like this, and also a bit about myself, because most of the times, you know, I talk about how I do things in the garden. So it might be interesting for you to know some more. This garden started as a project in 2011. I was then very new to this concept, gardening, growing things. I had grown like tomatoes and some peppers and, you know, flowers in containers, mostly in balconies and small gardens. But I had never started a garden project on my own. My passion had been to renovate old houses. And this is a house that is about 200 years old. So that has been my passion. But when we had two kids quite close to each other and they were small, it was a bit dangerous to renovate the way I wanted to do it. So I decided to start a garden. And not just a garden, I wanted to create a vegetable garden that provide the family with all the greens, the vegetables that we need in the family for a huge part of the year. And by then I didn't have any experience in how to grow vegetables. I had to learn that. So I started my garden project in 2011 with the aim to create a self-sufficient garden in south of Sweden. I would do this in 3 years' time. So in 11 I created this vegetable garden. In 2012 I had my third baby, and I then challenged myself to grow as much as possible and to learn how things, you know, looks like in the garden and how it works. In 2013 I challenged myself to not buy any vegetables at all in between June and December in Sweden, and that succeeded. It all went well. And from that day on in December, when that project ended, we are more or less self-sufficient with food, not only 6 months a year, but all year, 12 months a year in south of Sweden. Well, as I told you, I didn't have any experience from gardening when I started. My mom grew a lot of vegetables when I was a kid, but my passion has been the house. So this was kind of new to me to embrace all of this, and I got very surprised about how emotional I felt about growing food, about working with soil, creating new soil, and to watch this circle of life passing, you know, in my garden. And I felt very, you know, complete in a way, because I have been scared of a lot of things in my life. And you know, you also get very emotional when you have kids. So I find a lot of peace in the garden, and that is very important for me. Not only the food and how it looks, that it's beautiful, etc. But now I am the mother of 4 wonderful children, and I live here with my husband Philip, and we have a very happy life. But it is also very busy. So then I can go out here, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning. I go out and I enjoy watching things in my garden, preparing in my thought what we are going to eat and what I want to do in the garden, etc. So it's very peaceful, very calming. It's a very good thing to grow your own food. It just makes me happy to have this garden. In my garden, I use the whole year to grow food. When I was a child, my mom, she used like a few months to grow food because that was possible by then. But nowadays it is possible for people also in Sweden and other cold climate countries to increase the growing season a lot. And this have been my thing, you know, to talk about this. For example, I have here spinach, and it's sown from seed in this place in a raised bed in about 2 weeks ago. So I sow a lot of vegetables and also flowers in summertime that I can harvest later in season, also in winter time. And that is how it's possible for me to be self-sufficient from a garden in Sweden. I make sowings in springtime, in summertime, in fall time, and in winter time, all year round. And I have a motto: if I sow things each and every day, I can also harvest each and every day. It's very, very important for me to increase the season. And this has been a great thing in my work that inspires so many people in Sweden and now also abroad. Lovely, with an autumn wreath with lots of colors on a lovely greenhouse. I thought you maybe wanted to know some about me as a person, about Sara. And of course it's very difficult to try to fit in all that is one person in just a minute or two. But I am 43 years old today. I live here with my lovely husband, Philip. He's a psychotherapist, and we have 4 wonderful children. I love to be the mother of my children, and we have decided to spend a lot of time with our children. So our children are home. They don't go to preschool until they are 4 years old. So we have spent lots and lots of time with them. I am very passionate about family, first of all. I am also very passionate about the garden, obviously, but I am also very passionate about my work. And what is my work then? Well, I started to work when I was 16, being a bit of a, wonder child. I started to do radio programs. Talking is my passion. I love to talk. And in Swedish, I am good in talking, how to form the sentence and to talk in an interesting way. I love that. So I started to work for a radio station when I was 16, just continuing doing that for the Swedish Public Service Broadcasting Radio, and then also for the Swedish television broadcasting, doing like children's programs, being the host of shows, etc. Later on, I started to write also for magazines. And when I had done this huge garden project, I wanted to share that with people and inspire people to maybe do something similar. So I started my blog in 2014, and that went quite well, so to say. Nowadays, my blog in Sweden at sarabackmo.se is one of the biggest blogs in Sweden, all categories, and it's one of the biggest when it comes to how many people reading, etc., etc. So it's a lovely work that I do. I have a team with wonderful people working with me. We are actually 7 people in my team working only with this, not practically in the garden, but to taking photos. Ida is behind the camera right now. I have other photographers and assistants, etc., etc. So it's a huge team, and I have decided to put a lot of effort in creating a sustainable way to work for me. I want to have fun at work. I want to feel meaning when I do things. So nowadays I work with my blog, with my YouTube channel. Not now with COVID, etc. I don't have any public speeches and courses, but otherwise I do that. And a huge part of my work is also my books. Because when the garden was new in 2011, I decided that if I succeed, growing all vegetables that my family wants to eat in 6 months, I will write a book about it. And now it is like 6 years later since my first book came out, and I have now released 7 books about this garden. And they are very popular in Sweden, so I continue writing if people want to read. So this is basically what I do for a living, and I have great fun. Except family, gardening and work, I love to do carpenting things, to build things. Last summer I built my own greenhouse, for example. I love to knit. I also love to bake and cook, etc. I love to take long walks with our dog. And I also have a quite new interest. I have grown flowers since day one in my garden, 2011. I sowed so many flowers, but I have only grown them as a company for the vegetables, because flowers makes the vegetables pop. It looks great in pictures and it looks great in videos, etc. And it makes me happy to have the flowers. But I have never used the flowers to, give me any joy inside the house in arrangements or bouquets, etc. And a few years ago, I found myself a new friend. She's great in doing bouquets, and I wanted to try some too. So the last couple of years I have been growing vegetables, of course, and flowers, and tried to learn more about flowers, how to make bouquets and arrangements. It's great fun. I enjoy it so much. So there will be more flowers later on also. And I have another house too. This is not my only garden. 3 years ago I bought a little cottage. It's actually only 3 kilometers away from here. I go there in the mornings and I write my books and blog posts and do my videos, etc. And I also created another garden there, my Oak Hill cottage garden. So I grow vegetables and I also grow flowers in this little garden. And it gives me so much joy to see this little garden and to see the house wrapped in all the flowers. I pick flowers, I pick vegetables, and I just feel happy. This bouquet I make today is for my husband. He's going back to work after a 3 months long time off from work, from that kind of work. He actually been writing a book on our second floor the whole summer. So this is to celebrate his work. One of the things I love the most about gardening is to work with my soil. And I can see how my soil have been better and better and better for each year that I grow. So this is really inspiring to me, that I do things that do well to the nature, to the soil. And my way of gardening is to add lots and lots of mulch to my beds. It could be grass clippings, it could be straw, it could be leaves, etc., etc., any plant material nearly. So this really increases the nutrition in the soil and also give the microorganisms reasons to develop this thing that we call soil. So I have made soil analysis from this soil, and it shows really good results, and it makes me very happy. I wanted to tell you something about the way I garden. It's a bit tricky, of course, to put it together very short, but I try to follow my routine in the garden based on what kind of goal I have for this specific year. My goal right now is to harvest in my garden vegetables that we can eat each and every day. And to achieve that, I have to make sowings each and every day. I have to do some kind of work in the garden each and every day. I don't mind that I have weeds in the garden. I don't mind that I sometimes don't have time to plant all the things that I have sown. I have allowed myself to do experiments in the garden, and I did not force myself to have a perfect looking garden just because I run one of Sweden's most read blogs, for example. It's very important for me to, whenever I go out in the garden, ask, what do I need in the garden? And what is possible? I can't have, unreasonable goals set up, because that will not make me a happy gardener. I am very concerned that I feel happy in my garden. And this is a bit tricky to put in words and, to combine all those things. But I try to do one little thing in the garden each and every day. Could be like harvest the peas, or dig down bokashi compost, or make a planting or whatever, and I try to feel satisfied with that, because I think if you are satisfied in the garden, then it is easier for you to also accept the things that goes wrong, because it will go wrong with lots and lots of things in the garden all the time, and that is okay. It's okay for you and it's okay for me. So try to find ways to be a happy gardener. That will help you along the way. Well, my friends, I don't know if you got any wiser from this, but it just gives you a bit of the picture what this garden is about and what I like to do. This is actually one of my favorite flowers among all of them. This is cosmos, and you have seen this planting in videos during summer, and will see more of it in fall time too. So if I should give you any advice on a flower that sits very nice in a vegetable garden, I will go for cosmos. And if I will choose, let's say, one vegetable that I will recommend you growing in the garden, I will definitely go for dried beans. They are very suitable for any garden, and they are easy to store, easy to eat, and gives you lots and lots of nutrients. I am so happy that you follow and that you watch my videos, so please continue to do that. And if you want to, you can subscribe and get a notification when I publish new videos from my garden projects. See you soon again, and bye from Sweden.